Welcome to today's episode. Today's episode is going to be very interesting. Oh, it is interesting for me to just speak on this very topic. Last night I was on my way back from work and I stumbled on this Seun Kuti's I just stumbled on something Seun Kuti was talking about people in the diaspora, people, Africans generally, who had left Africa to go look for greener pastures in other countries like US, Canada, Europe, UK, and every Australia, all of those other countries, like people who had left Africa to go look for greener pastures somewhere else. He was saying that it was almost like there was an unspoken agreement or code that every African who had traveled out of Africa, it's like there was an agreement, unwritten, unspoken agreement that they were not going to share their day-to-day experience in those countries that they had traveled to.
They not tell me, but it was revealed ancestrally. And no single African, Nigeria, we don't Japa, make it come tell me say this way I won't talk so la lie. There is a silent, non-spoken, non-written agreement between every African we don't Japa not to relay his true experience to his people. I repeat, every single African here, Nigerian, Ghanaian, this one, that one, we don't leave Africa. Say in run go greener pastures for Europe and America. They have an unwritten code, unspoken rule among all of them, not to tell you the reality of their day-to-day experience. If the Africans we don't move from this continent, they hustle for Europe. If all of them create blog, and inside that blog, they begin to tell all of us what's in their eye they see every day. Nobody for Africa will go again. Nobody for here will move. We go say, I would rather die.
And somehow I found myself laughing, like, to some extent, it is not true, okay? But to a large extent, it is true, because I would say that those people who traveled abroad, let me just say abroad, I don't want to call any country in particular, who traveled abroad earlier, back in the days, there was just this thing that make it look like once you travel out of Africa, your life is made, your life is complete, everything you're looking for will be. It's just like God is there waiting for you to answer all your prayers. So it was like everything that was not possible is possible over there. You hear some people say things like, this can never happen abroad. I say this, it's like I say it every time I'm having a conversation with my friends. It's like I say it all the time, because I always remember that someone had once said that some of these things that is happening that I'm seeing in my workplace right now, or seeing in workplaces right now, do not happen in. But they said these things were not happening in the civilized country. Why is it happening now? So to some extent, he is saying the truth, but not completely. See, people pass messages or people say things and people perceive or hear it differently. I think that is the problem. Like, people already have this high expectation of just thinking about the civilized country, just thinking about just being abroad, just thinking about leaving any African country to the Western world is just very fascinating. It's just very interesting. There's just so much imaginations in our head that even when someone is practically telling you their day-to-day life, you're like, this one is just trying to discourage me. Okay, let me just use a lighter note, okay? We all have been yabbing the UK people. We all have been like we're always saying this UK people, you guys are always talking too much. UK people, if UK is that bad, all of you should come home so that batch 1 stream 2 or stream 2 batch 1 will go. And even when someone is telling you that their life is really difficult, someone will say, which part of abroad are you? Just come home so that another person will go. So people are truly not listening. People are like, he's even privileged to be there and he's still complaining. There was one time I heard someone say that, she said literally that she thought that coming from Nigeria to abroad, she thought that people would be picking dollars on the floor. And she wasn't talking to me. I was sitting somewhere and I heard that, and I turned to look at who would ever think like that. And that is the problem. People will tell you a story and people will just their imagination will be running wild, and now you all are blaming people in the diaspora that it seems to be like there's an unspoken code that they don't want to be sharing their day-to-day. The UK people have been trying. They walk when on their way to work, they will be telling you guys their story. You guys will say, you guys trade too much. You guys don't have car. Even those that choose to make videos in their car to share their day-to-day life, you guys will say, you get people, you guys don't have house. Is it that you're on the street trekking or you're sitting in the car? People are trying so hard to share their day-to-day life outside Africa, but the African people are not listening because their head is already clouded with the good things and maybe the movies you have watched, you have seen somewhere, maybe Canada, somewhere in a movie, somewhere, and you're so carried away and you think that's how life is easy. My brothers, my sisters, life is not easy anywhere. It's just like if you leave your typical village and say you're going to Abuja, you're going to Lagos for greener pastures, for better life, and you got there and you be like, wow, now so life be. Is this how hard life is? Then you will see things that people do that you have never seen in that small village of yours, that you absolutely had peace of mind, that you took for granted. But we want growth, we want greener pastures. Forgetting that when we got here, we only found out that the only reason why the grass is not greener in Africa is because we are not watering it. And I will tell you guys why. Let's talk about the work culture in the Western world. You don't go to work late. You don't just sit at home and don't go to work. And we know workers back in Africa where they will just go to work on Monday. They choose the days that they go to work. They go to work on Monday and go and sign a register, and maybe the next time they go again is Friday. What happened between Mondays and Fridays? You're sitting in your home, and at the end of the month you will still get your full pay. It does not work like that here. So I would say that somehow it's very stressful for Africans who came here and find it very difficult because they don't have the work culture of going to work every day, the discipline, the going to work and actually doing the job that you're actually paid for. People just go to work and lazy around in Africa, and they still get that if it's pay as you go. So if you want to sit at home all day, and here there's no brothers and sisters out here trying to help you, that okay, if I don't cook in my house, if I don't go to work, I can always go to relative house and spend some day. It does not work like that here. Plus every bill is paid monthly. So it is not like people are not saying what they are going through, but people are not listening. People are not listening, and it's a little overwhelming for Africans over here because, like I said, we are used to this lazy, almost like a lawless community, a lawless country where nothing is really a big deal. The culture shock is that this is a law-abiding country, that if you do anyhow, you go see anyhow. So don't get it twisted. People are speaking, but people are not listening. People are not listening because I have come across podcasts, freelancing, just asking people a question randomly on the street and say, you being in UK, how do you feel? You being in the United States, how do you feel? You being in Canada, how do you feel? And people are truly pouring at their heart. But when I go to the comment section, people will be saying, which part of our brother are you that you are claiming that you're suffering like this? If you know you cannot make it, then come back. Like, people are not even taking into consideration the pains that people out here are trying to share with them, or their experience. They're making light of the issues. And sometimes, I remember one time a friend of mine told me that someone called her from Nigeria and said that, oh, you are here, can you tell me how it takes to get over here and all of that, and how is life there generally? And she tried to tell the person what the husband is doing right now in the place that they are living, in the abroad place they are living. So she was sincere. She told the person, it's not that easy. You can't even believe that my husband that used to be this person in Nigeria is now doing this in this place. And that was her being sincere. And the next time they had some conversation, the person just casually threw that sincerity back on her face and said, "Ha! Your husband see they work for that place. I go better stay for Nigeria." Yes, maybe that's the reason why it seems like people are not speaking. People are speaking, but people are making light of their issue. People are making mockery of their issue. People are making it a topic of discussion of their issue. But guess what? Some of us have decided that come rain, come shine. The Bible said that when there's a casting down, we will say there's a lifting up because we'll know who will believe it. It's not like people are not doing well, or people are not seeking people are not seeing the greener pasture that they came here for. They are seeing it. They just don't have. There's just some things that, like I said earlier, that we're not used to. That hard work, the discipline. I feel is the discipline. So it's not, I don't know. I really don't know. You guys do not get it twisted. People are living comfortably here. People are achieving as much as they have always wanted to achieve. Their dreams have almost been met, and some of them have met their dream, and some of them have gotten the opportunities that they want, and some of them have achieved things that if they hadn't come here, they wouldn't be able to achieve it. And there's security. There's a lot of things here that people are enjoying in as much as stress level. Yes, there is stress. Like I said, those bills are paid. Like, let's talk about the rents here. It's paid monthly. Every other bill is paid monthly. And the way the system here works is absolutely different. Back in Africa, if you do not have your full amount of money, you cannot just walk into a place and just grab a car, no matter how little that car is. But here, people are ready to give you on credit and say you pay small. That again is another trap. That pay small means like pay small at your convenience, and that means they have taken freedom, rest away from you, because at the end of the month you find out that you have your rent to pay, you have your car insurance to pay, you have other things to pay, you have the car insurance to pay, you have the car loan to pay, you just have a whole lot of things going on that you have to pay. They make it affordable, they make it easy access to a lot of things that if you're not careful, you get locked up and you are working tirelessly year to year. And somehow my dad always told me that there's dignity in labor. Also in the video there was just this thing going on, like, and people are doing jobs that are way beyond their whatever, like this and that, and we have totally forgotten that there's dignity in labor, and for whatever puts food on anyone's table. And it's from that same job that you're laughing at somebody that the person is sending you that urgent 2K, 5K, 10K that person is constantly helping you with. So if that answers your question, there's no unspoken or written code. Is that people are speaking, but the Africans are not listening. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next episode.